The Extravaganza 2015, coming to you live from Feasterville, and you're watching an event hosted by the Philly Roller Derby and broadcast on WFTDA.tv. I'm Dangly Bits. With me is Lou.
Yeah.
Lou, how you doing?
I'm pretty excited to be calling this game.
Yeah, me too.
Charm City versus Stockholm Roller Derby. We've got the 18 versus the 31, but Stockholm coming overseas like the European teams, international teams like to do, bringing the thunder. And
I like to think that upset is Europe's middle name.
yeah, but is it really an upset when it's starting to become rather expected?
That's true, that's true. We'll have to throw some curveballs in to keep everyone on their toes.
That's right.
So do you want to understand the Charm roster?
I can start with the Charm City roster, why not? Charm City will be sending in black during this game onto the track. Number 1001, Colleen Best. 127, Kamikaze Cash. Number 14, Feral Cat. 1618 is I Am Pain. 178, Raven Darkhold. 308, Gigi Hardy. 34, Lady Kaboom. 41, Scariot Tubman. 415, Holly Go Hardly. 6 is Pittsburgh. 8, Free Radical. 91, Loretta Scars. NC17, Cherrylicious. And top 5 is Susie Powell. And
skating for Stockholm this evening, we've got Polygamy Winehouse 00. 03 is Carolyn Thunder. Number 100 is Evil Lisa. 131 is Cracker. Number 16, Panica de Hex. Number 18, Mount Neverest. Number 22, Mad Maloney. Number 455, Domino Effect. Number 50, Best Serve Cold. Number 67, Test the Mess. Number 8, Becky Lawless. Number 87, Lil Slinky. 911, Blow Me. And 934, Quaditch.
Eva Liza from Stockholm is actually originally from Tri-City Roller Derby, Kitchener-Waterloo, where I actually hail from. She moved over to Sweden with her husband last year and signed up with Stockholm Roller Derby, and now is back at ECDX. I've been very impressed with her play, as I have been impressed with all of Stockholm's play. Saw them down at Beach Crawl last year and was very excited to see that they were coming back here. Going to be very interesting to see what happens between them and Charm. Stockholm coming into this game defeated Detroit 259 to 162 and then lost to Montreal 206 to 174.
That's right, and it's interesting to note as well that the loss yesterday to Montreal will be the first loss they've had after a 13-win streak that went back as far as July 2014. So a change up for them, and they're going to be hungry to put another win on the board before they leave the US.
I imagine that is true. Now Charm, on the other hand, has got their first win over Windy, I believe. That was 272 to 126. Now that's a rebuilding Windy team. We all know that. We've seen that. We've seen unexpected results from Windy all season long, but so it's hard to gauge where Charm is with that result compared to where. I mean, and the Montreal result that Stockholm lost. Montreal has added some players this weekend as well, Cosmic Bruise and KWOW. So they're stronger than expected as well this weekend. So I'm not 100% sure how this game's going to play out, Dan.
That's it. The prediction game on this one, I have to say, is incredibly difficult to do because you can't look to the rankings because it's pretty clear, I think, from anyone that watched the last 2 games that Stockholm played over this weekend, they are underranked and will almost certainly be promoted as a result of the games they've played here this weekend. Although, of course, we'll have to wait for the official rankings to come out. Right. We're looking at Charm, who played, as you say, against Windy City, the rebuilding Windy City team. So it's difficult to gauge how much that win actually indicates for us. We're just going to have to wait and see how this one plays out. Stick with us here at the East Coast Derby Extravaganza. Action about to begin, Lou.
Again, Stockholm will be wearing the yellow. Charm City will be wearing the black. First jam of the game. Charm City sending I Am Pain to the jammer line and Mad Maloney for Stockholm. Names that you will recognize well if you've been following either of these teams any kind of time in the past. Blockers for Stockholm are going to be Cracker, Polygamy Winehouse, Best Serve Cold, and Blow Me. Over on the Charm City side, they are sending Holly Go Hardly, Pittsburgh, Loretta Scars, and Cherrylicious. We got the rolling whistle, which means Roller Derby is just about to get underway. 30 minutes of the first half as the clock gets ready to roll, and there's the whistle. Stockholm using that quad pod at the front, trying to pick off, and I Am Pain goes from the inside to the outside, and the pod rolls nicely around to pick her off. Now Mad Maloney taking an outside line. She's got 1 to beat, and she is through first lead jammer of the game, going to Stockholm. Yeah, first lead jammer to Stockholm, but it was hard fought on both sides, and there's only about, I don't know, 1/8 of the track between the 2 jammers right now, Lou? Yeah, Mad Maloney's going to have to be careful. Apex jump, lands it, just looking to see the points. She went out of bounds. The jam gets called off a little bit late, and it's a track cut. It looks like a track cut has been signaled to Mad Maloney to the penalty box. Jam did get called off, though, and Charm ends up with 4 points as a result.
Yeah, I'd speculate that was Mad Maloney's, maybe her wheels coming in just not quite landed on inbounds after that jump. So this one will start, as you say, as a power jam, our first power jam of the day, in favor of Charm.
And Susie Power is going to be the jammer of record as this power start gets going. The full 30-second power start, as Dan mentioned. Nice two brace going on at the front. Really important to keep that extra, keep the separation between the brace. Don't get that multiplayer, but really effective blocking on the part of Stockholm. Managed to kill almost 20 seconds off of that penalty before Susie Powell could get free. Now Susie Powell coming back around on a scoring pass, knocked to the outside by number 18, that is Mount Neverest. Power jam is over, and back on the track is Mad Maloney. Susie Powell's trying to pick up points again, getting cycled back, this time by domino effect. Nice work in the pack by Stockholm, preventing points from being scored by Susie Powell. Now Mad Maloney still on her initial pass, trying to get through so that she can stop this power jam from continuing. It's not a power jam anymore, but the power jam effect is still in effect. And Susie Powell's had enough, Dan. She's going to call it off.
That's it, and that's actually a story that we saw being played out over the last couple of games we've seen Stockholm as well. That structural defense, the ability to build that power cube. I've heard it called a hypercube in some other places. That four-wall braced up at the front. You can see it forming actually on your screens right now. That has been absolutely dominant. And what's really interesting is they haven't just used it defensively, they've used it offensively as well. The flexibility of that formation really showing its strength throughout this weekend, actually, Lou. Yeah,
and really nice lateral movement on it. It's got great rotation. It's nice and amorphous. We'll get another jam in the way. Little Slinky taking the star for the first time in this game, as Mad Maloney was out there for the first two. And over on the Charm City side, I Am Payne's back into the rotation. I Am Payne starting to break that pod apart and gets out the front. She's got lead jammer for Charm. Little Slinky at the back, getting some assistance from the skaters in yellow as they swarm back in and provide some offense. Big hit at the front as Holly Go Hardy knocks Little Slinky, and she's going to have to cycle all the way to the back of the pack, all the way back to the jammer line. Huge hit, nice work by the pivot of Charm. And that's I Am Payne through the front. 5 more points for Charm.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I expect to see here, which is the defense of Stockholm really able to hold Charm for quite a while, showing some very, very strong defensive play, but the offense perhaps a little bit lacking and making it difficult for them to break out their jammers.
And we saw right at the end, I Am Payne going toe-to-toe with Polygamy Winehouse. Polygamy Winehouse had gotten a little bit sideways, and I Am Payne's just that big and physical enough of a jammer that she was able to pop one of the top blockers from Stockholm out of the way and pick up those points.
So we saw Montreal yesterday really actually able to pick up Stockholm's number, figuring out that they could find ways through this defense and leave their own defense to hold. They didn't need the offensive assist. Perhaps Charm having seen that and running that themselves right from the get-go.
Panic at a Hex jamming against Kamikaze Cash. Whistle blows. Charm has the back line and is doing their own braced four-wall at the back. One blocker in the penalty box for Stockholm, so they're down to a pyramid block, but they've got a single at the back. That is Domino Effect, doing a good job of holding her back. Knock to the inside, that's going to be the big drawback now on Kamikaze Cash. Now trying to work through the front of the pack is going to be Panic at the Hex, and she gets through.
Little Panic at the Hex there coming out.
Little Panic at the Hex, that's right.
And picking up lead there for Stockholm, but it took them the better part of a minute, about 38 seconds, to get lead in the first place. The defenses of both these teams dominant so far, Lou.
Yeah, Scarrett Tubman picking up that out-of-play block that was holding Panica back from picking up that lead. Now in the pack, working her way through, goes sideways, gets pushed to the inside. Raven Darkhold working that in a track cut ascent. Kamikaze Cash to the penalty box. So now the question is, can Stockholm take advantage of this, Dan? And
actually over the last couple of games we've seen them play, Stockholm have really, what they've done with their power jams is consistent, careful and slow. They haven't gone for massive 30-point, 40-point blowouts. They've just said, let's take it easy, don't lose anyone to the box, get the points we can get. And that looks like exactly what they're doing there, making that call to tap the hips and call it off. Scoreline, Charm 16, Stockholm just over 5 minutes played so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting aspect of time management in the game, right? I mean, you can run your jam and pick up all your points, but sometimes if you called off, you give yourself an extra 15, 20 seconds on the power jam, get a power start, get a second lead jammer, you get more control of a second jam, you have more control into the game. Jam is underway. It is a power start for Sweden, Stockholm, and Mad Maloney is working away to the front direction of the game. Plays here sending Holly-Go Hardley to the penalty box. Mad Maloney is now lead jammer. Power jam is over, and quickly onto the track is Kamikaze Cash. Stuck at the back behind the wall of yellow. In the pack now is Mad Maloney working her way through the front. She's got a 2-wall at the front to beat. Tries to split the difference. Cherrylicious isolating her to the outside. Cherrylicious, the last blocker to beat. She's going to get by her. Mad Maloney through, picks up the 5 points for Stockholm. 4 points for Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm able maybe to edge their way in a little bit more now. They've got that lead jammer call. A few more points going up on the board. Certainly only 7 points differential so far. This is the kind of game we were expecting to see so far, Lou.
Pack goes into hustle mode as penalties are an issue in this jam. People trying to take time off the clock. Mad Maloney pushed to the outside by Hitzberg. Calls off the jam. Did get the hips passed and picked up another 4 points, Dan.
Yeah, squeezing a few more points out, bringing us to only a 3-point differential now. 16 to Charm, 13 to Stockholm, 23 minutes still left to play in the first half. We said this one was going to be hard to predict, and so far it's holding up that way. And the teams seem fairly evenly matched in terms of their abilities of their packs to come together and form those defensive formations very, very well. What may make the difference is the ability to adapt and run offense when you need to. We'll be looking out for that in the next few jams.
Jam underway. Lil Slinky taking the star. Susie Powell taking it for Charm. And Lil Slinky with the pack advantage gets through for lead jammer. Hitzberg heading to the penalty box. And Susie Powell doing a star pass, or it's a star stash. We'll have to check. Lil Slinky is so quick and so difficult to get a hold of. When you get her slowed down, maybe get a piece of her, but she just goes sideways and then back into the inside jammer. Her blockers had no chance of stopping her.
Yeah, Lil Slinky really living up to her name, slinking around through the pack, and there goes another 5-point Grand Slam pass to prove it. Yeah,
that gives us the first lead change of the game as Stockholm is now in command of the highest score. Lil Slinky coming around on a third scoring pass, absorbs one hit, absorbs a hit from Susie Powell. Susie Powell, the last line of defense, throws down a 360, comes out the front, and Lil Slinky gets another 5 points for Stockholm.
Yeah, and what's really impressive is Stockholm's ability to run the score, despite the fact that they are not on the power jam in the same way that we've seen Charm do before.
Now, having said that, it turns out that they are actually on a power jam now, as the star pass was completed, and the jammer who was Free Radical, or Pivot who was Free Radical, is now the jammer and is now in the penalty box.
There we go. That's hence the confusion from my part, so apologies for that one. A couple more points going up on the board just at the end there. And it's 23, a 23-point jam for Stockholm on that one. Huge, huge jam. Brings them back and puts that lead right out in the front now. Difference of 20 points between the two teams.
And Stockholm does the same thing once again. They get that extra pass. They call it off, freeze the jammer in the penalty box. And they're going to have another power start. So maximizing, spreading out that advantage over multiple jams. We saw that a lot more when we had the 1-minute penalties, but 30-second penalties, a lot of teams have gotten away from it. Stockholm seems to have gotten back to it, and it's working out for them this weekend as they get lead jammer once again. Mad Maloney off to the races, and Stockholm getting ready to do the big drawback on Free Radical, and she was the pivot. Not usually the jammer for Charms. You have to wonder how this is going to work out for Charm if they can't get a star pass in. Free Radical getting drawn back again. Mad Maloney wrestles her way through the front pack of Charm blockers and picks up 5 points for Stockholm. Free Radical does work her way free, so she should be able to limit the scoring. Penalty box has emptied. Skaters in yellow swarming forward, trying to get their jammer points. Jam gets called off, and 2 more stolen by Stockholm.
Yeah, and I think you commented on the kind of the conservative style of the decisions to call so far, Lou. I think that's smart, because one of the questions that's got to be running through everyone's mind now is, this is the 3rd game this weekend for Stockholm, only the 2nd one for Charm. Not only that, but Stockholm have had a run of games coming up, including a scrimmage against Gotham. So is stamina going to come and play a point? At the moment, no in this game, I'd say. Everyone's happy running quite quickly. But it could be smart move by the Stockholm bench to call things as early as possible, preserve energy for the long game.
And talking about preserving energy, Stockholm going a little deeper into their jammer rotation for this jam, putting Quadich out there on the line. number 934. 5-on-5 roller derby action for Charm. They've got I Am Pain out there, and she's going to slide through on the inside. You give her an inch, she will take a mile.
And you know what? That's actually really important for Charm to get a bit of a swing of momentum in their favor right now and pick up lead, which they haven't done for at least 3 jams. Yeah,
those little mistakes Charm was making in the last couple of jams really came back to haunt them, but I Am Pain is out there and picks up a full 5 points for Charm. Quadich has made her way out of the packs. This is likely going to be the final pass for I Am Pain unless she decides to push it. Nice isolation on Eva Liza, pushing to the outside to make sure that I Am Pain could pick up points. 2 more points for Charm. A nice offensive work by the Charm blockers.
Yeah, 7 more points total on that jam for them. 23, now plays 43. Still a 20-point difference at this point in time. Looking at the stats now, I Am Pain top scorer for Charm City with 13 points on the board so far. Lil Slinky with 23 for Stockholm, followed hotly by Mad Maloney with 15. So these are jammer rotations that we'd expect to see at this point, Lou.
Absolutely true. Next jam underway with Lil Slinky taking the star, and it is Susie Powell for Charm. Lil Slinky again goes from the inside to the outside, slides away along the line and picks up lead jammer Susie Powell. In a duel at the front of the pack with Cracker, survives the battle and she gets out. Now Lil Slinky coming in. Charm's defense gets a little bit separated, but Lil Slinky knocked to the outside by Scariot Tubman, and jam gets called off.
Jam gets called off. We'd like to say a big thank you to Radar Wheels, who are helping us out with supporting us this weekend. Nail your stops with Radar Prestos. Hockey stops, plow stops, power stops, Presto.
And don't forget, if you want to talk to us, hashtag ECDX chat. Use the Twitters, say your words. We may even see them. 17 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Panic at the Hex taking the star for Stockholm. Kamikaze Cash is the jammer for Charm. 1 blocker to beat at the front. Holly Go Harley goes inverted chest to chest with Panica the Hex. Smash, smash, smash they go, and Panica is going to win the battle finally, but Holly Go Harley did not go lightly.
Oh, that was a tough one, though, having to fight all the way past all those physical moves to keep her in the pack. That stamina question, again, playing up in my mind, and now she's pushing up against that 2 all up at the front now, Lou.
Pushing up, and she's got to be careful, because Kamikaze Cash is coming through in the back of the pack. I don't know that she sees it. She's going to call off. Did Cash steal anything? She did not.
No, she didn't manage to sneak any up, but it was a pretty close run thing just at the end there. Lil Slinky now on 24 points for this game, doing particularly good work for Stockholm, which is exactly what we'd expect to see after the performance she put in, particularly yesterday against Montreal, able to run the score really effectively for Stockholm up there. I Am Pain, the workhorse of Charm City, with 20 of their 23 points thus far in this game.
Yeah, she had 110 points in that Windy City game yesterday. Able to put up big numbers that I Am Pain does. I Am Pain with a star once again on her skull. Mad Maloney taking it for Stockholm. Defense locking down both sides. It's a tripod for Stockholm and that quad pod for Charm. But they've got to stretch out the bridge, and they get a bit too far out of play. We'll see if there's chops. Doesn't matter either way. Mad Maloney is out with lead jammer for Stockholm. There goes I Am Pain. She's out as well. Stockholm plays silent defense at the back, slows the pack down. I Am Pain creeping up on the back. Mad Maloney's got to be careful. Not going to get this call off in time. I Am Pain through untouched on the inside. Going to steal 4 points. Now Mad Maloney frantically going up against Cherrylicious and Best. Knocked to the outside. Did pick up 3 points. So little misfire on that jam bag.
Yeah, I know those things happen. You know, you have those moments where perhaps you're so focused on the fight you've got in front of you, you forget about the bigger picture. You know, it happens to everyone. We've seen it happen at every single level of play. So nothing really to be too worried about, especially given the differential only 1. But Stockholm will be careful to try and lock that down, I'm sure. 27 points to Charm, 50 points to Stockholm. You're watching East Coast Derby Extravaganza, hosted by Philly Roller Derby on WFTDA.tv.
Lil Slinky taking the star for Stockholm. Susie Powell, the jammer of note for Charm. Lil Slinky again, inside out. outside in, gets knocked out of bounds, quickly resets. The charm wall slowly crawling forward as Lil Slinky throws lateral move after lateral move, hops in on the inside and picks up lead jammer. Still stuck at the back is Susie Powell. She's got even Liza to beat, gets past the hips, and now she's away. Holly Go Hardly loses her footing, goes down. Lil Slinky slips through. Did she get past Free Radical? She did not. Free Radical saving her point, 3 points for Stockholm.
And what's interesting to look at right now is the lead jam calls by my entirely unofficial tally done with the high technology Elve pen and paper. At the moment, Charm with only 3 lead jam calls compared to Stockholm's 9. And this is more kind of like the ratio we saw Stockholm able to put up against Detroit rather than Montreal. Of course, Charm hoping they could replay the story against Montreal more than the story against Detroit.
I suspect that's very true. 3-on-3 packs, both setting up tripods. Kamikaze Cash and Quadich out there. Quadich accelerating that pack forward. Big separation, no pack indicated. Cherrylicious drops back to form the bridge. Able to jump forward and try to get a hip on Quadich. Not enough to keep her in the pack. And 2 Charm blockers going to the penalty box. Penalty trouble for Charm. They've got nobody to stop Quadich. She's through with speed, picking up 5 points. Kamikaze Cash also getting out of the pack. All 4 blockers on the track for Stockholm. Stockholm sets up that wall. Quadich calls it off after picking up the 4, and Cash does pick up a single though.
Yeah, she was calling for the single, that's for certain, and yes, gets it. That's, oh no, 2 in fact, a deuce going on there for Charm City. Current scores 62 to Stockholm, 29 to Charm. And we'd like to say a big thank you to Rydell Skates. Unmatched quality, unmatched performance, Rydell Skates. Now, this differential is certainly not huge as we go into a team timeout called by Charm. Let's have a look at the penalty track on each team. Actually, not a massive amount of phenomenal to report. No one above 2 on either team, but quite an even spread across the 2 teams. Current top scorer still for Stockholm, Lil Slinky with 27. Mad Maloney following up with 18 and 9 for Quadich. A lot of those on that last jam. Yep. And 24 points for I Am Pain so far. 3 for Susie Powers and just 1 for Kamikaze Cash again on that last jam. So really, I Am Pain getting the business done for Charm, but the other jammers struggling a little bit against this structurally very, very sound Stockholm defense.
Yeah, and I mean, Charm will run Pain every second jam if they have to. But I mean, when she's scoring 24 to 28 points that you've managed to get in this game, you're going to have to figure something out, because one jammer generally will not get it done at this level of roller derby. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you've got to think about how do you rest the other jammers, how do you rest I Am Pain when you need to. Although, as you say, has been the dominant force, 24 of the 28 points so far.
Mad Maloney taking star, 4-on-2 pack advantage for Stockholm. 2 blockers from Charm doing a good job of pinning down Mad Maloney, though. She finally springs free, gets past Darkhold and Free Radical, and Pain has been cycled to the back. Now getting to reset. And Maloney coming around, only 1 to beat on the inside. Free Radical can't contain her. Gonna get the 5 points. Finally, I Am Pain gets out. Stem the bleeding, but Mad Maloney getting it done that time, Dan.
You know, I think Charm City's total number of penalties are a little bit higher than Stockholm's, but not a significant number higher. What's been really interesting is that when Charm's had those penalties coming in, they've come in 2s and 3s. They come in big blocks, which has really left big openings for Stockholm jammers to get through, which is what really Stockholm need, because like I say, they have a couple of kind of set plays we've seen them run on offense, but it's not something that they default to. They default to this strong defensive formation that you're seeing right here, and I guarantee you now in this next jam they'll prove me wrong. In fact, look, there it is. Proves me absolutely wrong. Polygamy Winehouse doing the business on the outside, opening up the door. That's another lead jammer for Stockholm.
Lil Slinky picking up that lead jammer. Susie Powell getting ridden out to the outside. Polygamy Winehouse knocking her out of bounds and then picking up the out of play block. But one of those penalties that's sometimes worth it. Oh, a back block. A back block on Lil Slinky sends her to the penalty box. And a back block on Susie Powell sends her to the penalty box. That means we're going to get ourselves a 2-minute jam with both jammers back on the track eventually, if Susie Powell ever gets to the penalty box.
And a bit of a nightmare situation there for Charms fans who are probably looking at the screen going, a back block, great, we've got a chance to get back into this game. The differential isn't that high. Oh, a back block of our own. And it all comes swinging back, swinging that pendulum back in favor of Stockholm.
So Lil Slinky back on the track. Nice sweep to the outside by the Stockholm defense. slash offense. And picking up Scariot Tubman. Lil Slinky gets through, picks up the 5, gets through again for it. So quick through the pack for another 5. Now Susie Powell has completed her initial pass. Both jammers eligible to score. 49 seconds remaining in the jam. Lil Slinky riding that rail one more time. So it's so tough to stop her when she goes by so quickly and with no space whatsoever required.
Yeah, absolutely happy to slide on through any way she can, whether that's sideways or indeed on her toe stops. And you can see an example of that there, just coming straight on round.
And Lil Slinky again with another 5-point pass, 19-0 in this jam so far. Powell is on a scoring pass, but having a lot of trouble with Polygamy Winehouse at the back of the pack. And Lil Slinky again just accelerating around the outside, getting past the pivot. Holly Go Hardly puts another 5 down. 8 seconds left in this jam, but Lil Slinky just has the speed to get around on another scoring pass. Bumped to the inside this time by Hitzberg. Jam's going to expire, but another 3 points down. Huge. 3 points for Charm, 2 points for Stockholm. Huge jam for Stockholm.
Massive, massive. 26 points for Stockholm on that one. Just 3 for Charm. I mean, Stockholm absolutely opening up that lead now. 93 points to Stockholm, 31 points to Charm. Just a reminder, at the beginning of this weekend, Charm City were ranked 18th in the WFTDA ranking. Stockholm ranked 31. So we really will be seeing, I think, a swing in terms of positioning thanks to East Coast Derby Extravaganza.
Panic at the Hex taking the star this time. And Susie Powell in the penalty box. So this will be a power start for Panic at the Hex in Stockholm. And she's going face to face at the front of the pack and getting out. Lead jammer once again for Stockholm. Penalties a problem for Charm. Again, not a lot of penalties. Wow, Panic at the Hex coming in so hard into that wall. We'll check to see. I believe there's going to be a misconduct call on Cherry Licious. Panic at the Hex came in hard and went down hard. Picked up the 5 though, takes an outside line this time. And 1 to beat. Gets past her, and it's another 5 spot thrown up. Now Power Jam is over and a star pass occurs. That's gonna put Colleen Best as the jammer now, as she was a pivot to start. Panic at the Hex gets through, 2 at the front, and did not pick up any points. They managed to hold off, but still 10 points in that jam and triple digits achieved by the Swedes.
That's right, triple digits achieved by the Swedes. That's a tongue twister right there. 103 to Stockholm, 31 to Charm. And all the action here at East Coast Derby Extravaganza has been fantastic to watch. You can join us again next year, where Philly Royal Derby will be hosting East Coast Extravaganza 2016, the 10th year of East Coast Derby Extravaganza. That will be on June 17th to 19th, 2016.
Mad Maloney, I Am Pain are the jammers for this jam. I Am Pain being held up at the back, splits the difference, but the Stockholm defenders quickly recycle. She does get through though, lead jammer. A track cut is going to send Blow Me to the penalty box. Also out of the pack is Mad Maloney for Stockholm. I Am Pain coming in hot. Well, thought about an apex jump, realized she didn't have to do it. Enough room on the inside, calls off 4 points for Charm.
Nice, lovely clean jam for Charm. That's more what they'll be wanting to see. I mean, yes, there's a significant differential in terms of points, but you can still nickel and dime it back. We've still got 7.5 minutes left to go in this period, another 30 minutes in the next one. So Charm still fighting for this one, and it looks like Holly Go Hardly will be stepping up to jam for them in the next one against Little Slinky, current highest scorer for Stockholm with 53 of their 103 points.
The Charm changing things up with Holly Go Hardly on the line. Lil Slinky, the mainstay, and again goes to the outside. Jammers falling over each other, both going to have to reset. Stockholm going to draw back almost into turn 3, but Holly Go Hardly did not have to go all the way back, came in quickly, picked up lead jammer. So a little bit of a defensive error on the part of Stockholm, getting all their blockers out of the way of the jammer from Charms. Holly Go Hardly is all the way around the track, back in the pack, at the back. And Lil Slinky having a little bit of trouble getting through this time. They've managed to keep her at mostly a standstill, isolating her, not allowing her to use that speed and lateral motion. But now she's got a bit of a run. Oh, friendly fire incident. Azima Liza lays out her own jammer. Both of them smile at each other. Loretta Scars having to bump Lil Slinky to the inside. Holly Go Hardly getting roughed up at the front of the pack, takes a hit from Eva Liza. Blomy and Carolyn Thunder holding her back. Lil Slinky does get out of the pack finally. Took over a minute for her to escape this time. Not something we've seen much in this game so far, Dan.
No, it looked exactly like Charm City's defense had the number of Little Slinky on that one. Able to take her left and right to the outside, get a couple of big recycles in. As you said, took her over a minute to get through on that first pass. This could be the beginning of a bit of a swing. That's the second time in a row Charm has managed to pick up lead. Bearing in mind that so far Stockholm has 13 lead calls to Charm's 5. We're seeing a little concentration of Charm comeback right here.
Yeah, and I mean, they did only pick up 5 points, but it's that momentum shift, right? That's what you want. You have to start somewhere. I Am Pain taking the start this time for Charm, trying to keep their fortunes rolling in the correct direction for the fans of the team from Baltimore. Quadich taking a star for Stockholm, blocking out of bounds penalty given to Blomy. That will lighten the blocker load for Stockholm and allow I Am Pain to slip through for lead jammer once again, Dan.
Yeah, you know, we're both bench coaches, or we have bench coached as well. The importance of that. Oh, sorry, I will stop myself there before I go any further. It looked like a penalty was being called, but it was not a penalty.
No.
Just more points going up in the air there for Charm. 5 more points, but Quadich able to break out as well.
Yeah, I Am Pain got laid out by Polygamy Winehouse, but Polygamy Winehouse also went down. Pain came back in. No point, no pass, no penalty.
No
all
nothing.
Good. No nothing. 3 points for Charm. And they'll add another 4 on top of that. 7-point jam. So again,
yeah,
momentum rolling.
As I was saying, we've both been bench coaches, and I don't know about your experience, but my experience very, very strongly has been when you've got momentum, it's easier then to build from that point. When you're trying to build momentum, good grief, that can be a hard slog, both physically and mentally.
It is indeed. And any little stumble, everyone just dives back in. We're going to get a timeout for Charm. Looks like it's going to be an official review. I mean, we're getting into that zone right now. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Again, bench coaches.
Yep.
At that point, you don't get to keep your official review in the second half. You get a brand new one. So you might as well use this one because you're just throwing it out.
100%, that's exactly right. And let's have a look. Thinking about official reviews, often based around penalties. Penalties at the moment, Blomy for Stockholm, the penalty leader there, with 4 trips to the box now, but she's matched by Polygamy Winehouse with 4 as well. Whereas if we look back over on Charm, the highest is 3, and that's Cherrylicious. The rest of the team sitting on 2s and 1s. So earlier on, I was commenting about the fact that it looked like Charm might have a few more penalties than Stockholm. That definitely doesn't look like the case anymore, Lou, and that may be part of the reason Charm has been able to begin this swing back of momentum.
Yeah, and in the game against Detroit, both Blomy had 7 in the game against Detroit. She fouled out. Polygamy Winehouse had 6. So whereas this game does sort of feel a bit more like that game, I don't think Stockholm really wants to lose those 2 blockers too early on in this game, because at that point in time, that opens things up for Charm. Charm trailing by 55 points, but we know that can change very quickly, especially if you lose 2 key blockers from your rotation.
You lose 2 key blockers, and potentially also this could be part of a longer-term strategy from Charm. Maybe they've come into this thinking, you know what, we have like home field advantage insofar as this is our time zone. Yep. You know, this is our location, and so for us it will be easier. Maybe we can maintain our stamina better. Let's let them run it a little bit in the first half, wear themselves out, and we'll come back in the later first half and the second half. Could be deliberate. Could actually be just a happy coincidence. For them, but it certainly does seem like Charm with a little bit of a swing of momentum at this point. Now with an official review, we will get you details of that official review as soon as we can get hold of them, but it does look like we will be going back to the action now, Lou.
So with 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in this game, Stockholm leading Charm City 103-48. Up on the jammer line. Let's see if we can spot them. 1 skater in the penalty box. That is Blomy still sitting there. So 4-on-3 pack advantage. And jam gets underway. Little Slinky. No,
that's Mad Maloney.
Mad Maloney taking the star. And it is going to be Holly Go Hardly once again jamming for Charm.
Challenges scoring points on the first pass from Stockholm.
And Mad Maloney coming up on the pack. And Mad Maloney getting through, splitting the forward defense. Picks up 4 points. And in the pack is Holly Go Hardly. Now Stockholm does have the lead here and can control when it ends, but they're going to keep running with this. Again, under 3.5 minutes remaining in this half. Mad Maloney through for another 5-point pass. So they like what they see. There was a track cut on Holly Go Hardly. Penalty box is full of charmed skaters. Only 2 blockers left on the track. Multiplayer blocks gonna send somebody to the penalty box. And Mad Maloney is going to get through for another 5 points. That's Colleen Best who picked up that multiplayer block. Only 1 blocker, and she's not going to stop Mad Maloney. Another 5 points. 19 points on this power jam already, Dan.
Yeah, we just had confirmation that official review was reviewing the points that were given. Oh, that was a big hit, and it almost looked low, but it was good. Good contact. Yeah, reviewing the points there from Charm, and the points as they were will stand. But what's interesting is they may have stolen their own momentum with that.
Holly Go Hardly comes back on the track and did a little apex jump to get out on her initial pass. Wasn't quite sure, I think, whether or not she had landed that. Checked with her jammer ref. Jam gets called off. 26 points, Dan.
Yeah, 26 was another big jam now in favor of Stockholm, and a team timeout now. Team timeout, no, it might be an official review. We'll wait. Yes, it looks like they're going into the middle. An official review now from Stockholm. It's what we were talking about before when we said that you get to the end as a bench coach and you think, well, I've got an official review. Damn it, I might as well use it.
That's right. And I mean, one of the changes they did this year is you can just use your official review as a timeout if you want. But
yeah.
But if you see anything, you're probably going to go out there and argue it just in case.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a super timeout, if you like, at that point in time. So why not use it that way rather than just to stop the clock or to get yourself an extra minute's rest?
That's right.
Gotham Girls Roller Derby have a boot camp. You can take your game to the next level with the Gotham Girls Boot Camp. July 11th and 12th at Coney Island, New York City. Single day and weekend passes available. Discounts available for 6 or more skaters from the same league. More information at www.gothamgirlsrollerderby.com.
I suspect that would be a rather good thing.
I suspect it'll be very useful for any of the leagues. You know, if you're going to learn from the best.
Yeah.
And that's a great opportunity for you to do exactly that there. Top scorer still for Charm City is I Am Payne. We commented that she's been doing most of the work throughout the day. She's got 35 of the 47 points for Charm so far. 53 points for Little Slinky out of the 129 for Stockholm. But now a couple more people coming up, particularly Mad Maloney, who we've seen in a couple of really big jams recently, able to put up 49 points against this Charm side thus far today.
Yeah, Mad Maloney able to put up 141 against Detroit and then 52 against Montreal, and Little Slinky changed it up. She had 86 against Detroit and then 109 against Montreal. So always nice to have those jammers that sort of switch back and forth, and stylistically very different jammers. Yeah. Even though they're running 1-2 most of the time with Panica and Quadage coming in there to assist, both of them have very different styles. And that's really tough for blockers to adjust to both styles when you're out there.
Yeah, Holly Go Hardly is sat in the penalty box for Charm. Okay, it looks like it was an official timeout, not an official review. That was our confusion up here, so apologies for that. It stops the clock, though. The current situation is Holly Go Hardly sitting in the box for Charm City. A short power jam for Lil Slinky from Stockholm stepping up. Stockholm 129 to Charm 49.
Leggy Winehouse stalking the back of that pack. I suspect we may see a little bit of offense for Little Slinky when the jammer whistle blows.
What? Yeah, absolutely. You can see it from your view on the screen has the perfect shot of the anticipated move there.
It's like a pack of wolves just waiting, and they all rotate to the inside. Little Slinky chases after them. A nice adjustment on the part of Charm in order to adjust to that offense. Maybe tipping their hand a bit too much, and they managed to get out front. And here comes Polygamy Winehouse to open up the inside. Excellent offense on the part of the rock star blocker from Stockholm.
Yeah, that offensive play as well, faking the outside, then the roll up on the inside. We've seen them run at least twice over the weekend, so it looks like one that they really have drilled hardly.
It happens so fast. It's so hard to react, especially when you think you've got it the first one. Holly Go Hardly is out of the penalty box, gets stood up as she comes out the front of the pack, and picks up a forearm penalty, and she'll be going back to the penalty box now. So this will turn into an extended power jam for Little Slinky, who is still stuck in that pack.
Yeah, Little Slinky really having a hard time getting on through what has been a very strong wall from Charm, but now getting some assistance from her blockers, breaking up those walls. Nice recycle though,
Yeah, I Am Pain trying to get the ninja draw back. Couldn't quite get back in time. Little slinky through, picks up her 5 points. First 5 points in this jam though, a minute 15 in. It's been a double power jam for Stockholm. They're gonna call it off, and they did get it off in time. It's gonna be another freeze.
You can't see it on your screens, but we can see quite clearly from our vantage point that Holly Go-Hardley is stood up in the penalty box, but still in the penalty box vitally. Stockholm now on 134, Charm on 49. You're watching East Coast Derby Extravaganza, brought to you by Philly Roller Derby and WFTDA.tv. I'm Dan Gabitz, with me is Lulu. What are you thinking right now about how things are working?
For Stockholm, I think it's working very well. Charm has their moments, but they just have little collapses every. And they're being caused by Stockholm. It's not really Charm's fault. It's Stockholm is doing things right. So, I mean, the jam's underway, and Mad Maloney is wrestling her way through the front, picks up lead jammer, and Holly Go-Hardley is back on the track. Star pass, and who happened to have the pivot stripe? Well, that was I Am Pain. That's a smart move on the part of Charm, isn't it?
Certainly is. I Am Pain still the highest scorer with 35 of the points they've scored so far to her name.
Mad Maloney continuing to let this run. I don't know if she knows that I Am Pain has gotten out of the pack and has completed her initial pass. I Am Pain is on a scoring pass, but 4 points have been put up by Mad Maloney. Mad Maloney coming around. Fair amount of real estate on the outside. Bounces off of one rear blocker of Charm. Charm cycles up and puts 3 in front of her. Now it's a 2-wall as Holly Go-Hardley was bridging. Now able to move up. Domino effect heading to the penalty box. And a 2-wall containing Mad Maloney. I Am Pain is going to get through on the inside and pick up 4 points for Charm. And a forearm is going to send Rolling Thunder to the penalty box. So 2 blockers in the box for Stockholm. Time is going to run out in the period, but that's a nice advantage for Charm to have coming into the second half, Dan, with a 4-on-2 pack advantage.
Yeah, 4-on-2 pack advantage is something they want to be exploiting, particularly because I think if I'm Charm, I really want to come out and make some impact on this game right at the start of the next half. I mean, you've got to, if you look at the scorelines, 53-142, you need to come out with some authority, Lou, straight away in that second half.
You do, and I think we've seen flashes of that from Charm in this game, but they have to have the consistency for the second half. The full 30 minutes, they have to put it together if they want to bridge this gap. 142-53, Stockholm over Charm. Charm with a long way to go. Stockholm probably pretty pleased where they're sitting. This is going to help Stockholm get ranked for playoffs.
Yeah, which is going to be absolutely vital in terms of the outcomes. We will crunch the numbers a little bit more. We probably won't have playoff standings for you. You'll have to wait till the 15th of July to get those on WFTDA.com. But we will have some more facts for you after this short break of 14 minutes.
Hey everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our Fit foot